So hello, this is a combo for full combo Memento and Fiendsmith with just a Lachroma and a Jerusalem. This is just to show you just like how easy it is to access with cards that aren't even Memento names, and this is also just to show you like this is a hand I had in round 9 of an open I attended, and I had this. This is my only engine, and I sort of lined like full combo. So I just wanted to show you guys that. So in this line you would normal Lachroma to dump an engraver, you would link this card off to summon Requiem effect to summon a second copy of engraver, and then you Requiem equip, you make Necro equip here, and then you engraver shuffle back Requiem to reborn itself. These two get linked off into Moon of Closed Heaven. Then you activate the Jerusalem banishing this. So this is important because otherwise you're going to be affecting the light fiends you have engraved. So like as you can see, like when I eventually link this off, these two for the sequence, I'll have these two to shuffle back and these two for the aerial eater. So it is mandatory that you never touch like the light fiends with the bestial itself, and like this is how you're supposed to do it. Now you link these two off to summon the sequence, and then as I said, we'll sequence shuffle back these two, and then that's going to summon us Aerial Eater. Aerial Eater effect is going to be dumping Goblin here, and then link these two off into Cross Sheep, banishing the two engravers for the Aerial, Cross Sheep, Reborn Goblin. Then you go Goblin effect, and then here's where it changes. Because you have normal summoned already, this line is like the only way you're actually allowed to like full combo with Memento like properly while having like the proper setup. So you Gatic effect, Gatic add back the Sleepy, then you summon the Sleepy and you don't use its effect. You link these two bodies off into Proxy of Magician, you activate its effect to fuse off into Twin Dragon. Twin Dragon pop, you search for two cards that like you want in the graveyard, so that way when you're like dumping free, like it doesn't, you don't like, even if they ash like the dump free or something, it's like you already have these engraved because they're gonna get fusioned off. So you already have like the setup that you needed. So then you go effect of Twin Dragon, and then you summon Sleepy, Sleepy effect to fuse, Sleepy summons Creation King, Creation King then dumps, and these are like this, there has to be specific cards. It's Memento Fusion, Zebra, and then any other name is redundant. In this specific line, like the extra name doesn't matter, but we'll just dump a language because we're playing 3 copies. So then here we're gonna go banish Memento Fusion to pop Creation King. Then we're going to search Bone Party. Then we're going to do triggering the Akiran to reborn itself, banishing this to search for Field Spell, and then we're going to go Bone Party, pop Akiran, summon Darkblade, trigger Field Spell, trigger Akiran, and then we go chain link 1 Field Spell, chain link 2 Akiran, we're going to reborn the Sleepy, and then we're going to add back the Memento Fusion of the Akiran. Here we can activate the Memento Fusion, and the reason why you shuffle back dump the Zebra is so that you can shuffle these two to summon Baphomet, and then Baphomet dumps the name that you really needed anyway. Or you can dump Lachroma here. And then here you can link these two off. Darkblade. Okay, let's go back on that. We'll cut that part.
Done.
And then here we're going to Darkblade effect, popping this, summoning the Anguish, chain link 1, Anguish, chain link 2, Sleepy. You're going to search Mace over here. And then, yep, that's all correct. Then we link these two off, and we're going to summon Moon. And then we're going to go link off into Agman Day. Oh, sorry, here in this line we're supposed to be dumping the 3rd engraver. So that way when we Agman Day target the engraver, we can reborn it, and then we can make the High King. Just because the Necro Equip was already used. So normally it would be the other way, where we dump Lacrima, but because we had run through the Necro Equip, this way we just do it this way. And this just goes to show that no matter like what the position is, we're always going to be able to make the hiking, or be able to make the SP. The SP isn't mandatory, but like the amount of setup that you get just from this is crazy. And this is just from a Bestial Juris Worm and a Lacrima as a normal summon, and we still got to set up absolutely everything. We have the Trihorn pop 2, we have the hiking to negate 2, Mace Snatch Deal, Dark Blade pop, and then we have Creation King pop 2 as well, plus we have infinite follow-up, because we're gonna have, we still have the Memento Fusion engraved because we banished it, added it back to hand, and then used it again. So we have that as follow-up. We have like multiple names as follow-up. I believe it should be around 3. So yeah, this line just goes to show that you don't need to open Memento engine, and that's why I do cut out like some engine when I'm playing, because you can rely on like Fiendsmith being able to access it, not just through the cards like Cross Sheep and Area Eater, but also through cards like Proxy F. Yeah, and that's all. So this is going to be the 1-card Tatsu Shinigo line. It's a similar premise to the Goblin line, but it's a bit different. But we're going to turn off. Special summon Zebra. Zebra effect to down Gatic and Sleepy. Gatic to reborn itself. Gatic add back Sleepy. Sleepy summon. Sleepy fuse into Twin. Twin effect pop, search 2, you search for Dark Blade and Trihorn, trigger Twin Dragon to reborn Sleepy. So now here you have 2 different routes. If your only starter is the Zebra, then you do just special summon Trihorn, and then these 2 make a hiking, and then you normal Dark Blade pop summon Mace. So and then that will resolve full comp. That will resolve like a half board. But it's just a way to like beat Nib, and like Zebra does it like really strongly because you can do it for like extremely free. But me personally, like normally it's just never just like 1 card in your hand, especially in a deck that plays 30 engine. So this line works out a lot better. Normal Dark Blade, pop Sleepy, and then here you're going to summon Mace. You're going to go Sleepy, and this is going to dump Akirin. And then here you're going to go Mace Pop, and then this is going to search Fusion. You're going to trigger Akirin, and here, this line is a bit greedy, but it's also like a really strong way to like get really good setup. It's by linking these 2 off, and then summoning Cross Sheep. You activate Memento Fusion, shuffling back Zebra, Mace, and Twin Dragon. You're going to summon Creation King. You're going to go Chain Link 1 Cross Sheep, Chain Link 2 Creation King. So there's no card in my graveyard that I currently want to reborn, but because I did Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, it's different, because I'm going to be able to dump an Anguish, a copy of Combined Creation, and like we always want a Goblin engraved, so I'll dump a copy of Goblin. And then now the Anguish is the Cross Sheep's gonna resolve, so I can reborn the Anguish, because this is Chain Link 2 and this is Chain Link 1. Now on new Chain Link, Anguish is going to be searching. For example, like we could grab Mace here, and then we can banish Memento Fusion, pop the Creation King. Here we can search Bone Party, then banish and search Field Spell. And now we can Anguish target, let's say Gatic, and that will pop the Akirin. And then that's going to trigger Field Spell and trigger Akirin. You can add back Goblin and reborn Sleepy. And now these 2 link up to make Proxy F Magician, and now these 2 Beast Fiend makes Baphomet. And now here you can go Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2. So here, like, it's depending on what you want to go for. If you want to go for the Necro Equip draw 1, you keep the Goblin. You want to be like more safe and you have like enough non-engine in your hand, then you just summon the Goblin, and then you hold the Mace in your hand. And remember, like, even without the Proxy F Magician summon here, you could have still gotten to the bodies and Bone Party pop to summon an extra body. So you're never gonna like miss out. Like, it's like very free, and if you do it this way, because you're maximizing all your values and bodies, and you never need to add Memento Fusion because the Baphomet is summoning him, and there's no other fusion you're already going to be summoning. So in this scenario, like, we'll be greedy just because we have no non-engine in this current hand, we can link these two off. You always put this in the graveyard because you want to have the you don't want to die to cards like Book of Eclipse, because if they Book of Eclipse you're hiking and there's cards underneath it, you need to have cards like Goblin Biker Spell, Droplet to sack it and then getting it into the graveyard. But this card in the graveyard is like so high value because this being able to reborn anytime in the opponent's turn is really, really strong. And then you summon that command to dump Engraver, and then you can link off these two bodies and summon Sequence. So Sequence shuffles back these, and then you summon Desiree, and then it all should all look similar to like all the other combos because they all lead to the same thing. So once again, target Desiree, and then there should be an Engraver here. This makes Neko, and then Engraver, shuffle back the Sequence. And then here you can reborn the creation after asking them if they have anything. And then here you will have less names engraved, but like it's better to like always, it's better just to have it this way anyway, because they're realistically like not gonna hold nib for this long. And even if they were, they would have nibbed you before you summon this, because they're not gonna take any chances, or they're not gonna think you're gonna be going for this. But yeah, it's always like perfectly fine, because just because we're playing this variant, even if they like hypothetically like, they held it for this time, even if they out this, the thing you have to realize is in your opponent's turn you can just banish Baphomet, summon the Creation King. When Creation King pops something, you trigger Field Spell and trigger a Kirin, you reborn Trihorn and have a Kirin, and then you can just Bone Party pop the Trihorn and you get an additional 2 pops, so that you're never going to be like negging in a sense. And not just that, if they tried to like nib here, we still have cards like Bone Party to pop, get an additional name. And then when this only looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, now you can actually like Bone Party pop that, and then summon another name, and then you'll have like more names in rotation. Anyway, so with this, yeah, you would shuffle back these. You always like to keep these two or these two. This is never really summoned early. This is just as like a protection in case they try to ash your Bone Party on the following turn. Having these two as a combo is really, really strong. And I'll get into that in a couple of seconds. So you would shuffle these back, and then you would activate Goblin. And now you can Necro Crypt, draw one, and then after that, you can just set Bone Party and pass. Make a High King, set Bone Party, and then just pass over your turn. Alright, cool. So I saw someone asking for a way to like interrupt with the Memento interruptions. So I won't give like any of the other cards that I play, like for example SP Desiree. I'll just do this purely with Memento. So for example, this is the 1 card combo under Field Loss Time that only gives them 1 draw. So hypothetically, let's say you're playing against the most represented deck right now, which is Pure Izio. So how you would start off is your opponent would hypothetically, let's say, normal summon Ice Rizio. Then he would summon Sword, and then Sword searches X. In this game state, you're going to go Creation to reborn the Sleepy, and then no Sleepy effect, of course. You're going to go Bone Party to pop the Sleepy. Here, you're going to summon Trihorn Dragon. You're going to go Chainlink 1 Sleepy to dump a card. You're going to dump Gaik, and you're going to go Gatic, add back Sleepy. And then here they have 2 monsters, so you're going to go Effect Sleepy Summon, Effect Sleepy Fuse. Twin Dragon Effect to pop Trihorn, and now you're going to be searching like more extenders, like for example Goblin and Anguish. And then you're going to go Trihorn to pop Twin and 2 cards they control, which is Ice and Sword. And then you go Twin Dragon Effect to reborn, let's say Sleepy. Now here they're gonna go with X. X is going to realistically be negating the field spell at this point, and they're gonna search Node, I believe. And now they're only gonna have 1 body. So hypothetically, let's say that we'll give them like a second card to their combo. Let's say they hard open one of their swords, so they can commit another 2 bodies to the field. So here you're going to they special sword. They dump Aggregator, negating Memento Clan, and then they have and then they special summon the sword after. You activate the Memento Fusion, you shuffle back these 3 names, you summon the Creation King, and now Creation King is going to dump 3. So here you're going to be dumping Akiran, Anguish, and let's say Darkblade. And now you have 2 options here. So if they only had those 2 monsters, then you would Creation King pop Sleepy and itself, and then pop both their cards. And then in this game state, like obviously your field spell is negated, so you're not gonna. Normally you would have been able to like reborn the Anguish effect search, or if they had like cross on field for some reason, like you could reborn Darkblade, pitch one of the 3 cards you have in your hand to pop the cross. But in this game state, like obviously the field spell is negated, so we'll just be reborning Akiran. Then even in this scenario, you pop both their monsters again. So if they try to special summon Ice, it does nothing. But then if they special summon Node, you just may snatch steal it, and now it's not actually possible for them to make a rank 4. And even in this sense, they're not going to be able to like Typhon you because they're rank 4 locked. And like you have like a starter, and this card, unless it's exactly imperm, is going to be able to trade. Is going to be able to like, if they ash the Anguish, you can just go Anguish target Mace in the graveyard already. Mace pop search fusion. Or an even easier line would be you could just banish the Memento Fusion, pop the Akiran, search Bone Party, Akiran adds back the Memento Fusion, and then for the next turn like you're already fully set up. So this is just like how to use the Memento Interruptions properly. Like you use them in like different areas because it's more important to sequence it this way because like you're getting the most amount of value. Like sometimes maybe before using the Trihorn pop, like you could summon Creation King to dump 3, and then when Trihorn pops, you can reborn the Akiran, and then Creation King can pop the Akiran for 3 value. It's just like all dependent on like the game state, what the opponent is dumping. But like when you're using cards like what was it? Yeah, like when you're using Twin Dragon's effect, for example, to pop the Trihorn, that's like a very, very strong interaction. Most people try to go Creation King target the Trihorn and pop it, and then Trihorn pop another 2. But that's not realistic. You don't want to rely on this card to make this card live. So you using cards like Bone Party to pop the Trihorn, or Twin Dragon to pop the Trihorn gives it a lot more value because you can leave this to when you need it and use this as early as possible. Or sometimes you need to use this as early as possible. Like for example, like if they ashed your Bone Party, if you Memento Fusion get to Creation King, you can dump 3, pop 2 cards they control with Gatic and this, and then trigger field spell to reborn this, and then you have Sleepy to summon Twin, and Twin pops the Trihorn. So you're still resolving all the combos no matter what. But yeah, that's all for that.